This video is brought to you by Letsynthesize Academy, the #1 place for practice-oriented courses for serious music producers. Hey, there Larson here, welcome to the newest Synthesize Sunday episode. And today I want to talk about how to make a good remix. So the first rule is think out of the box. Now it is very easy to say, but how to do it? So in the next few minutes I'm going to give you several tips how to think out of the box, how to do it, and how I made it in the last 10 years working as a full-timer producer. Without going further, let me encourage you to subscribe for weekly awesome videos. Okay, so I'm going to use one of my remixes that I made like half a year ago to show you everything I want to show you. Okay, and probably YouTube is going to kick me on the butt for this, but you know what, I don't care, I just want to educate you guys. So let me show you the original and my remix.
I wore a red dress, you wore that gray, we look good together. I never thought that you would have stayed, and that was forever. Can't forget the night we fell in love. Can't forget the night we didn't talk. Thought it was over. Thought it was over.
Okay, so this was the original, and I just want to tweak it a little, not a little, I just want to create a whole different stuff. Okay, just let's jump into it and let me show you how it sounds. So let's jump to the vocal part.
Can't forget the night we didn't talk. Thought it was over. Thought it was over. And now I'm here in the back of your car. You hold my hand and gaze at the stars. I never thought that this would be.
Okay, so as an extra, as a bonus, you can download this preset from the drop from my Patreon. Okay, so the first thing that I suggest you is change the transposition of the song. So the original song was like in E, I believe in E minor, and I changed it to F sharp minor. And this can create some really nice and interesting results, especially if you work with vocals. So let me show you what I mean. So this is the original vocal here.
I wore a red dress, you wore that gray, we look good together. I never thought that you would.
So it is cool, but I wanted to add another layer, a lower layer, but if I leave the transposition as it is now, it can sound a little weird. So this is why I went with this vocal effect.
I wore a red dress, you wore that gray, we look good together. I never thought that.
So as you can hear, the original sounds like this.
I wore a red dress, you wore that gray, we look good together. I never thought that you would have stayed, and that was forever.
It already sounds a lot stronger. Plus, I was able to add another layer that sounds like this.
I wore a red dress, you wore that gray, we look good together. I never thought that you would have stayed.
And altogether it sounds really well.
I wore a red dress, you wore that gray, we look good together.
So basically I just used 2 semitones of transposition, and with this extra layer it sounds really, really great. If you want to learn more about music production, click here. Okay, tip number 2, change the chord progression. So as you can hear in the original, the piano sounded like something like this. It's a very moody and a little sorrow, and I wanted to change it. I wanted to go a little more, you know, EDM-y. So this is why I changed the chords to this. And of course, with the chord progression, you need to change the instrumentals. So I don't recommend you to use the same piano, the same stuff, but you know, add a different flavor to the whole sound, the whole stuff with different chord progression. I'm sure that it will just kick ass, okay? So it is very important to think out of the box, and the first thing is to think out of the transposition and the chord progression. Well, for me, it always worked. Now, obviously, you can use the original chord progression, and how to find it, how to find the original chords from an audio track or audio sample. Let me show it to you what I use for that, and that is called Sonic Visualizer and the VAM plugin called Chordino. Okay, so first we need to download Sonic Visualizer. So let's type in Sonic Visualizer, but not Chordino, simply Sonic Visualizer. Okay, and here is a download, just download it. You need the 64-bit version because I'm using Windows 64, so obviously you need to download that. Next, you need a Vamp plugin that you can plug in into Sonic Visualizer, and that is called Chordino. So here is it, isophonics.net, and obviously I need the Windows binary, so just download it. And if you want to know how to install these Vamp plugins, go to vampplugins.org, and here in the download plugins, you can find installation instructions. So if you use Windows 64, you need to put the 32 plugins into x86 Vamp plugins, and obviously these are very obvious. Okay, next just go to Program Files, and let's make a new directory called Vamp plugins. Cool, and open this archive, just copy all the stuff here. Okay, now after you open Sonic Visualizer, you have the piano stuff, and go to Transform, Plugin, Chordino, and Chord Estimate. Just click OK, and if you want to hear and not only see if the chord detection was correct, go to Transform again, plugin name Chordino, and note representation of chord estimate. Click OK. On the scale, just choose MIDI notes, and as you can see here, it just draws in the MIDI notes for you, and actually it will play back it for you too. So it's a really nice plugin. It can create awesome chord detection, and it's free. So I'm not saying it is 100% accurate all the time, but it's like 90%, and it is very good. Okay, so my next tip is change the rhythm. Okay, so if the original was like a 4x4 kind of thing, just change it, for example, to breakbeat or dubstep beat or a down tempo beat or anything like that. So the original was, in this case, is a future basic kind of stuff, and the stem spec doesn't contain the drums, but I wanted to make it a 4x4 kind of thing. So this is why my drop sounds like this. While the original sounds like this. So this already gives a very nice different feel to the whole sound. It is very important if you want to make an exciting remix, so thinking out of the box. Next tip, don't worry about the whole stuff. Okay, because it doesn't matter how and where you start your remix, at the end it will just turn into a very different production, a very different sound. For example, I started this song with a reggaeton kind of thing, but at the end it just turned out moody, I don't know what it is. So just don't worry about it. Do what you are in the good, and it will be fine. Next tip, I don't really recommend you to change the tempo of the song, especially if you have vocals. So obviously you can do that, so it doesn't really matter. Lots of good remixes born with very different tempo. For example, Noiser always changes the tempo, but if you work with vocals, for me, it never really worked out, you know, speeding up the vocal or slowing it down drastically. For me, it always sounds a little odd. Obviously, you can add 10 BPM plus minus, it's fine. But more, I'm not really sure about that. Of course you can do it, but I don't really like it. So this is my personal advice, just leave the tempo where it is. And this is important for me because I can relate to the original song if I don't change the tempo too much. So this is my reason. And finally, always add ear candies. And this is very important. For example, the original song didn't really have too many ear candies. And it bothers me because I just, you know, when I listen to a song, I want to listen to several hundred little details. And for this remix, I added ear candies for the vocals. So let me show it to you. So let's go to the vocals. So this is the original stuff. And here is the vocal effects, as you can see. Of course, I always have some fade-in, reverse vocal reverb kind of thing. And I added lots of glitches in audio. It was a pain, really, but it worked out really well. So like little pitch drops, stutters, cuts here and there. It works like, now this one works like a delay, but it was not. As you can see, it just cuts here and there, and I applied a pitch drop effect here in the clip itself. So these pitch drop effects are always very exciting, works really well as an ear candy. Now this is my favorite here because I use some melody kind of thing with the cuts and the stutters in audio. Again, it was a pain, but it really worked well, so it was really worth it. And all together with the vocals.
Thought it was over. Thought it was over.
Okay, another stuttery kind of thing.
You hold every card. You hold my source.
So this is all basically. If you add lots of ear candies, I'm sure that the original composer, the original producer will be very, very happy what you did to it. Okay, so this was it, and I hope you learned a lot to create your own remix. Now go and just jump into it and make awesome remixes. So I was Dan Larson. Peace.